This over here, is this the... Yeah. There were a ton of little earthquakes. Where was this again?
Just play it. There's a ton of footage. Just play it all. This is in Ningxia and
That's
Yinchuan.
right.
Yinchuan, great city in China, actually.
Yeah,
had a
very,
great
very
time
cool.
there. Had an awesome time there. John Cena lived there for a little while. weirdly
Yeah,
enough.
because have an ice cream or whatever. Binjilin.
Was he in Yinchuan with that clip?
Maybe.
Okay. Anyway,
May as well.
It's a Muslim province in China, and what happened was a series of small earthquakes.
Yeah, there was like 53 earthquakes in a day. All very small.
Small ones. They're under like four-ish Richter scale, right?
Yeah, 4 and under, yeah.
But people started spazzing. Right?
Yeah.
They go, I'm out of here. I'm not going to be around because they know what happens with earthquakes in China. It's not a good track record. What? How many tens of thousands of people died
like
in the Sichuan?
80,000 or something.
Sichuan earthquake in 2008, right?
Yeah, it was terrible.
So people remember that's fresh in their mind. They go, every time this happens, the government downplays it, and then we actually die.
Yes.
Right, and the rescue efforts usually suck.
Yeah.
So they start leaving, and it causes chaos, right? Everyone starts panicking and trying to leave the city.
Yeah, which you can imagine caused huge traffic jams and problems, right?
Yeah, so that was just one person's day, but you see what happened here. This is what occurred. So people got clogged, and then it was this cumulative panic because they were like, not only am I trying to run away from these earthquakes, but now I'm trapped in like where the epicenters would be with all these people.
Yeah.
So it was like this, people were passing out and going crazy.
Yeah, no, it's quite insane. And, again, you get stuck in those traffic jams in China, they do not move.
No.
You can be stuck for hours without moving an inch. It's happened to me multiple times.
Yeah.
Anyway, luckily there wasn't a big earthquake. Everybody just was worried that a big one would come.
Yes.
But there was actually a big earthquake in China, but not there.
It was almost like they had foretold.
It was like
something.
a prophecy.
Yeah, it was a
almost.
prophecy, an omen.
Yeah, exactly.
Because just after that, there was a massive earthquake it was a 7.1?
Yeah, I think so.
In Tibet.
Yeah. By the way, the Chinese government has been using this opportunity to try and whitewash the name Tibet off the map.
That's actually something we wanted to bring up.
Yeah, they're not saying Xizang everywhere.
So China's name for Tibet, as you can see here, this is some of the aftermath of this horrible 100-something plus people officially died.
Yeah,
we know what
knows?
that means.
Yeah, many more.
Many more. So China has renamed Tibet because they don't want it to be its own territory. They claim it. They took it, right? Remember, China's not an imperialist. They literally took Tibet away and made it their own province. They renamed it Xizang, right? Now, Xizang is now the official name in China for Tibet. And now they're actually writing that in their English media. They're writing Xizang instead of Tibet because they don't want foreigners like us calling it Tibet.
That's right. So the problem with this is they've been denying foreign rescue workers. They've been denying foreign press to get in there as usual because it's such a sensitive area.
Yeah.
So because of their own, stubbornness and horribleness, if that's a word even, they are actually not saving lives.
Yes.
They would rather people suffer and not receive help.
I think the biggest thing they're trying to do right now is to make sure foreign journalists don't cover the true aftermath of it. Because what they've learned from the prior earthquake, remember when they cut off, in 2008, when tens of thousands of people died in Sichuan, they cut off their cell phone.
They turned off the cell phone signal.
So they couldn't get messages to each other or videos or calls.
Yeah, because they didn't want the news spreading.
Yes.
And they also denied, for instance, Japan has the best earthquake response teams
they
ever.
found it.
Yeah, but Japan, they said, we're coming, we're volunteering, we're going to come help. And they didn't let them go in.
Nope.
They didn't let them help. You know what I mean?
So this is the thing, is that I think they learned from that, and then they learned from COVID.
Yeah.
And they learned from the Hong Kong protests and all these horrible cataclysmic events that really were bad for China.
Yeah.
To just not let people see it.
Yeah,
and
because
then they can control the narrative.
They can control the media. They can let these few shots go out.
Yeah.
They'll say, okay, BBC, here's some footage.
I want to say this actually worked this time because there was no public discourse about this being mishandled.
Yeah.
In all the footage I saw on mainstream media, there was no rogue journalist or anything. It was their propaganda pieces. They were like, that you could see some of the rescue workers like look into the camera and stuff. That's not
PLA
to diminish
guys.
their efforts, by the way. But they're like, it's very organized and it worked this time. They got this story fully controlled.
Yeah.
Right. And you don't hear about it anymore.
Nope. And that's what they do. They sweep it under the rug. You never hear about it again. It goes. The news cycle doesn't even cycle.
Nope. Doesn't need to.
Yes. I used to go to Huajianbei all the time in Shenzhen. That's where all the iPhones, get recycled. You know when your iPhone is stolen?
Yes.
You know, you see this often. People use that like Find My Apple, and it always ends up in Shenzhen in China.
Every time.
And they've got these fantastic markets in Shenzhen. If you have an Apple device and you need something replaced, like I had my laptop pretty much rebuilt.
Yeah.
I had a MacBook that was broken and it needed a new screen, new motherboard, new RAM, all that kind of stuff. You go there and they source all the parts and they fix it. It's the same with phones. They get the stolen phones, they remove the screens and the batteries and all those things, and then somebody has a broken iPhone, you take it in there, they can replace your screen with a stolen one or whatever. You know, that's how it goes.
But it gets even worse, right?
Yeah. Well, this, as you can see, is a guy in Huajianbei removing the seal on a new iPhone, brand new iPhone, right?
Okay. With a heat gun.
Yeah. Okay. That way he can gain access to it and replace whatever he wants to replace. He can put a counterfeit screen on.
Right.
He can
keep the good parts.
Yeah, he can put in an old battery. He can do whatever he wants now that he's gained access to it. He can put a whole fake phone in there.
Remember that happened with my watch, right?
Yes.
I brought in my watch. It was just a Tissot quartz watch, but it was like $500.
Yeah, it's a nice watch.
It's okay.
Yeah.
And I got it to get the battery replaced. I brought it back and I noticed something was weird about it, but only like months later.
Yeah.
I was like, there's like misprints on the dial. What he did was he swapped all the guts out of the watch.
Yeah, he swapped the movement
and
out.
the dial.
Yeah.
Right? The movement and the dial. And then I'm using it, and then all of a sudden the hands are getting stuck on each other.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
And that's the same thing with this,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. So when you go buy a brand new iPhone in China, mainland China, and you don't go to an official Apple store, you're really taking a gamble because you don't know what you're getting. But not only that, they then sell these on all sorts of like e-commerce platforms.
Yep.
You know, you might be getting a gray market brand new iPhone. Don't fall for that stuff.
Yeah, just don't cut corners.
Yeah, just go to the Apple
shortcuts,
store.
you know.
You know what I mean?
Nung pian jiu pian. Dude.
Yeah, nung pian jiu pian. Because look,
If you
now
can
it's
cheat, you cheat. That's what that means.
fully sealed again.
Watch the results.
Riders, but once was their land. The untamed food of going munching.
Just from like tiny different angles.
Yeah, grab me junk. And then he's like, oh no, he's gonna get me. We have probably the worst vote clip we've ever had. I think
the worst.
I think this is the one that's turned my stomach the most. I don't.
It's soft like cheese.
Don't.
就是普通老百姓，我不是政府的，也要
Yeah, I don't know, man.